All right, so this is really just the last little thing. And we've done things with three-dimensional figures or solid figures. So I don't think much of what I'm going to show you, if anything, is really new. I'm just going to kind of put it all together for you. So solid figures are just the same as three-dimensional shapes. They can be unfolded to have a net, excuse me, which is just the name for an unfolded solid. The surface area is basically like if you were going to cover it with wrapping paper. How much wrapping paper would it take? And it's also, because it's area, it's still in square units. So you can think, and I put that little note on there for you, think wrapping paper. So let's talk for a few minutes about some different three-dimensional shapes and some common nets. So what these are on your little thing. All right, so these are unfolded solid shapes. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this after lunch. But these are just some common nets. So I want us to see if we can go through and label them. So I want to start with the one that's probably the most familiar to you, and that is this one. Does anyone know, if we folded that up, what shape it would make? What shape would it make, Dylan? It would make a cube, yes.
Because it would like, this one on the side would like make the side, and the one on the right would make this other side.
Yeah. So it would all fold up, and because they're all the same, this one is a cube. So write cube on your paper. Now, so now I want to talk about some other kinds of nets. There are two different kinds of shapes that we're going to talk about. They are, and you might want to write this down, pyramids and prisms. Pyramids and prisms. Okay, and so the difference between pyramids and prisms is that one of them comes to a point and one of them does not. So do I have anyone who could take a guess which of those two, pyramids or prisms, are going to come to a point? Which one do you think are going to come to a point? Cruz?
Pyramids.
Pyramids. Pyramids are going to come to a point. They're going to have some triangles on them, usually multiple triangles, more than two at least. So a pyramid is going to come to a point, and it's going to be made up mostly of triangles. So a prism is not going to come to a point, and it's going to be made mostly of rectangles. That's really the difference. Now, when we come back from lunch, we'll talk a little more. The shape that's here at the bottom, this one. Okay, so now let's start with this. Is it a pyramid or a prism? Pyramid, right? Okay, so it's definitely a pyramid because it's going to come to a point at the top. Now, shapes are named also. The first word, the second word is either pyramid or prism. The first word is the shape of its base. So what's the base of this one?
A triangle.
Triangle. So it's called a triangular pyramid. Triangular pyramid. Okay, so write that. Triangular pyramid. It was good. Okay. How about this one right here? Pyramid or prism? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's mostly triangles. It's mostly triangles because it's got 4 of them. That makes it a pyramid. And then it's named based on the shape of its base, which is a square. So write this: square, pyramid. All right, so how about that one? This one's going to be a little bit trickier. So let's say pyramid or prism.
Prism.
Very good. Prism. It's prism because it's not going to come to a point. Because these places are going to fold in, and these are going to be the two bases that are triangles. So it's going to be called a triangular prism. Okay, write that down. Triangular prism. Okay. Okay, is it going to be a pyramid?
No.
Definitely not. There aren't even any triangles, so it can't come up to a point. So definitely a prism. And what kind of prism is it going to be? Rectangular prism. Very good. Okay, and now there are these two. These two are just kind of unusual, and I just want to mention them. And I'll have some, like I said, I have some examples of them that I'll show you tomorrow. But they have circles, so they're not necessarily in our content. But does anyone have an idea what this one is going to make? When you fold it up, what shape? Ooh, you know. Go.
Cylinder.
It's a cylinder, right? Because it's made up of a rectangle. When you fold it around, it'll have a circle on each end. Very good. All right, then how about this one? Who knows that one? What's that one?
Cone.
It's a cone. Very good. It's a cone. Okay. 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 So surface area. Yeah, we did some practice on it, but I wasn't sure if I had covered this little part right here. So surface area is like wrapping paper. That's the way you need to think of it. So surface area is really area for a three-dimensional figure. And we just talked about nets. So the net is how it looks unfolded. And generally this is used to decide, like, if you were going to make, boxes or something, how much paper would you need to make the boxes? Or how much cardboard. So it's the number of square units in a three-dimensional figure and what it takes to cover something. Oh, wait a minute. I have a better one of these. Let me come to that. No, I don't. You're right. Here we go. So think wrapping paper. This is the part I wanted you to see because I put this on your notes. Think wrapping paper. And remember this, because it's area, this is going to be different than what you think. Because it's area, it's always squared. Even though we're talking about a three-dimensional figure, we're still talking about area, and the answer is always going to be squared. Okay? Now, let's go to some examples. We're doing really well here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I want to talk about surface area, and I want to show you two different ways to get surface area. So you're going to have a little focus here and write down these two examples so that you'll get them. So one way is a way that we've been doing for a while, and that is where we have a net, like the one here on the right, and then we just find the area of each piece. So let's do that one together. So let's start with this rectangle right here. So it has a base and a height of 6 and 3, so that's 18. Okay. And that one's actually going to be the same as this one, right?
Yeah, they're the same size.
18. Okay. Now, how about this one in between them? What's this one? What are the measurements of that one? You can say it. 6 and 2. That's 12. So that's the same as that one. And then their other two smaller pieces are what and what? 3 and 2, which is 6 and 6. And what we did before was we just added up all the pieces. So let's do that real quickly. So we have 18 plus 12 plus 6. And I could just do that and get, what am I going to get? 36. And then multiply it by 2, right? Because there's 2 of everything. And we'll get 72 centimeters, and they are squared. Okay? Now, that's one way to get it. And this works really well when you have a net. But if you have a rectangular prism, like we have right here, this and this are the same. So if we have a rectangular prism, there is a shortcut that I'm going to show you. So I want to show you this box. Let's talk about boxes for a second. This is important. So what we know about boxes is that they have a front and they also have a
Back.
and they're the same, right?
Yeah.
Front and the back are the same. They have a top and a and they are the
Same.
they have a side and they are the okay? Okay. So the front and the back are the same. The top and the bottom are the same. The side and the side are the same. Okay. Because of that, we can use a little shortcut to come up with our surface area. It's my unofficial formula for surface area. It goes like this. Front plus back plus top plus bottom plus side plus side. So all you do is find the area of each piece of it and add them up. That's actually exactly what we did right here. But in this case, we can do it even shorter way. Because they give us 3 measurements, we can multiply each one of them together to find an area of one of those pieces, the front, back, side, top, bottom, twice. So let me show you what that looks like. Do this with me because you're going to forget what I'm about to tell you. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take 2 of the numbers. So I'm going to take 3 and 2, and I'm going to multiply them together. What's that?
6.
Okay, and then I'm going to do it again. So that's another 6. Okay, then I'm going to take the next 2 numbers. I'm going to make a little triangle here so I don't forget where I am. 2 times 6 is
12.
and then I'm going to do another one for the other side.
Yeah.
And the last one,
The back.
6 times 3, 18,
And add another
plus another 18.
one. And you add on the 18.
And what I've just done is the exact same thing. I just did it with just multiplying numbers instead of trying to figure out what goes where. Okay? So when we add all those up, anybody know what we're going to get?
72.
72 centimeters squared. Now, let me real quickly go back through what those steps were. So all I did was, because it's a rectangular prism, and you can only use it for a rectangular prism, I can multiply each pair of numbers together twice. So that times that, that times that, that times that, add them all up. These are just the directions real quickly that I just gave you. So these are the 2 ways for you to find surface area. Now I want to talk about volume for a second. So volume is the other piece that we need to talk about. And this is very quick and easy. Okay, so volume is what it takes to fill something up. So think of filling up a pool, filling up a glass of water, something like that, anything. So whatever you're filling something up, that's volume. And it's always in cube units instead of square units. Now we're talking a little number 3, okay, because it's made up of cubes inside. So let's real quickly go through. This is the how-to, but you already kind of know that. So we're going to do these 2 together. We've already done this briefly, but I haven't officially given you notes on it. So let's just do it real quickly. So this is inside of your notes. If you'll do it with me while I do it. First step, let's write the formula. So the formula for volume, the formula for volume is length times width times height. So write the formula, plug in the numbers. Volume equals 5 times 4 times 3. Wait till I ask. Volume equals, what's 5 times 4 times 3?
60.
60, and it's in centimeters, and they are cubed. Okay? Let's do the next one. Volume equals length times width times height. Volume equals 4 times 1/2 times 1 1/2. Y'all figure that out. When you have an answer, raise your hand. Oh, don't give me the answer yet. Just raise your hand when you have an answer. I'll let you ask your question in just a second. Anna, what'd you get?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I got 3 centimeters. The 3 thing.
Cubed. Uh-huh. 3 centimeters cubed. How many people agree with that answer?
Me.
Yay, good job, because she's right. All right, 3 centimeters cubed.